So the other day, I was playing Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2, and it had been my primary world for over 100 hours. And what should have been just a routine loss that happens, I lost my head. And I couldn't figure out why, but it made me angry. So I did the only logical thing. I executed. Whew. Now that that's out of the way, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a run where we kill everybody. So for starters, we're going to go through, we're going to assign our points just to put in some easy stats. Here is our beautiful character that we will be killing everybody with, and I decided to make our sigil an axe. So early game, I just wanted to kill some easy looters, just to get some easy loot, that way I can buy troops in the future, because let's be honest, recruits early game, they're useless. So I used a trick with the bow where you just kind of go around in circles around them and make them follow you, and it got really easy loot. Then I decided to join a tournament, and it didn't end well, at all. So I abandoned that and we continued on our way, where we continued fighting some troops. Eventually we ran into some highwaymen. These highwaymen chased us and I couldn't run away from them very far. So it also did not end well, same as the tournament. After a little while of running around and searching for any loot as I could, I ended up in Onira, where I decided to join a tournament. Now, since it's early game and my stats sucked, and I ended up in a 2v1, things did not end well, as you can see here. So, I decided to take out some anger and declare war on the Asari, where I ordered my men to go kill all of the innocent villagers there, and I decided to steal everything they owned. Unfortunately, somebody decided to chase after me, so I had to flee pretty quickly. But it's okay, because I joined another tournament and I made it pretty far this time, hoping I was going to be able to win it. Now, I couldn't find him at first, but then he started throwing stuff at me, and for whatever reason, he decided this was a good idea. So I grabbed a javelin, threw it into his leg. That didn't stun him, so I decided to throw it into his face, and that one did stun him quite a bit. After winning the tournament, I decided to chase after some bandits, and it led me to a hideout. Once I joined the hideout, I ordered my men to execute all of the unsuspecting victims, and I was challenged to a duel. Now, I'm not here to duel, I'm here to murder, so I just told my men to kill every single one of them, and it turned out to pretty much be a slaughter for the other team, as every single one of them died, and they didn't kill a single one of my men. Good for them. After an easy hideout win, I decided to join some tournaments. Now, this particular tournament was going pretty well since I was on horseback, and I do best in tournaments with a horse. After some short success in the early rounds, I was stripped of my horse and pitted against Blue. As my teammate was stupid and died very quickly, I was left in a 2v1. As you can expect, it does not go very well. I held my own. I got some early damage in, but it unfortunately was not enough, and I eventually did end up dying here. Now, since I was angry from losing the tournament, I decided the only reasonable thing to do in being a bad guy is to find the nearest villagers and execute every single one, because as they say, a fleeing enemy is still an enemy. I don't know who says that. It's probably against some, conventions, but oh well. Following the success of butchering entire villages, I decided to join another tournament. This one went pretty well. It was close, but I ended up winning. As many of the rounds were, with teams, I got lucky on the teams. After this tournament, I decided it was best to continue our success and continue hunting down some villagers. Now, these guys didn't do much, but I wanted to get my troops some experience, so I sent them in, and while I executed many of them, the troops took care of the rest. After this, I decided it was best to go to another hideout. This one was highwaymen, and again, challenged to a duel. I decided that was not my style, so I just told my men to execute every single one of them. Again, it was a slaughter, as none of my men were injured. Shortly after the success of butchering villages and defeating hideouts, I encountered this guy. Now, for whatever reason, he was all by himself, and he didn't even put up a fight, which is weird, so I could just capture him, which worked in my favor because I didn't really have a lot of men. But he officially became the first person executed in this run. Now, many more will come, but it's good to have a first. Now, the most surprising thing about executing him was even though he was part of the Crusade army, nobody cared except for his family, or his clan, which was interesting, but, I'll take it, I guess. While it was nice while it lasted, his clan did come back for revenge, and thinking I have more men, I was like, okay, cool, I got this. So I decided I would attack, and it didn't go great, as you can see here, because they were all cavalry. So I decided to retreat my men, and since it was gonna lose no matter what, I didn't really want to be captive, so I sent my men to die. Not very honorable, but whatever. And then we were attacked again, and I sent my men to die, and sent them to die again, and again. You can see the trend, but unfortunately, in the end, I ran out of men to send to their death, so I had to fight. But as I was wounded from our last battle, I could either send my troops to die in battle, or I could surrender. And I'm not a surrendering man, so I just sent 100% of my troops to go die, and they did. I decided to take out some anger on the Asari, but armies chased me. So while I was seeking refuge in the towns, I decided I was going to join another tournament. Now, these tournaments went about how you'd expect, based on the other tournaments I've tried in this run. Not great, as my shield broke and I was stabbed in the face. And then here, I also broke a shield, so I was backed into a corner. And while I tried, in the end, he bested me. Also, I had stupid teammates who had absolutely no idea what they were doing, so they would just rush the wrong person. Here, I was given a horse, so I thought I was lucky. I was not. And here, I also got bullied by... I don't even know what went wrong here. I just died. And then this clip, I don't even know what to think here. I was full health, and I just got stabbed in the chest and died immediately, losing me the tournament. I was so mad. After gathering some men, I decided to go back to Anira because it's one of the best centrally located areas. And once I got here, Radagos met me. Finally, 3.5 hours into the run. So finally, I was able to talk to him about where my family was. I went to the hideout. I had my men just run through everybody there, and then it was time for the duel. Now, he offered to duel, but like I've said in the past, that's not my style. I'd rather just get up behind him and execute him. This one, however, was much closer, as several of my men ended up dying in the process, which it was scary, because for a split second in the beginning, I thought we were going to lose. In the end, though, we were able to kill him, and it was an easy win. This led to Galter's execution by Radagos. Not sure if I want to count this one. I'm not sure I'll include it in the montage of executions, but Radagos then apologized for everything, and I said not good enough. I need something in return. He didn't have much, so I took his head instead, and he became my second execution of the run, which was nice, because here's where things get interesting. I finally had enough men and enough power that I could declare war on the Northern Empire. Now, This meant executions were going to be a lot more frequent as I was able to win battles. And as you can see here, that one, I won it very easily, took all of the prisoners, and chopped their heads off, because that is what we're all about here. And after doing this for a while, I just continued every single person that I saw that I could reasonably take on. I wasn't trying to take on any armies, but anybody that was by themselves I could take on and chop off their heads. Now this did lead to some interesting battles, as I was able to sit back and watch as my cavalry pretty much just killed everybody. I didn't lose too many men in any of the battles. Obviously there would be the strays that were getting killed, but for the most part I had horse archers that would circle around them, shooting them, and then my infantry would get in and tear them apart, which was perfect because it led to more people that I could chop their heads off of. And all lords and mercenaries and anything that were considered an enemy, I was taken captive. Now, here I was chased. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit scared because there were 4 different people that were attacking me, and they had quite a few more men. Now, at this point in the run, I had mostly legionary as infantry and mostly maxed out troops, which were great. As you can see, every single person that attacked me lost their head, all 4 of them, which was honestly impressive because I wasn't quite expecting that, but I was proud. After this, I found the Jewel. Since they always annoy me in every run because they always seem to join my enemy, I had no problem declaring war on them when they were independent. Now, Jewel are typically a lot of cavalry, so I did suffer quite a few losses, but I made this guy pay for it with his head. And he didn't argue much, you know? Once his head was off, he didn't say anything. I continued going around chasing lords all throughout the map, mostly centrally located. Mostly the Empire was what I was after. There were quite a few other executions, but these guys were just the most populated in the most compact areas. Now eventually I ended up in an area that I probably shouldn't have been in, simply because the entire nation was at war with me. I ended up being chased by many different individuals. So I took shelter in Onira, again, one of the best places, and I was able to slowly pick them off as one by one they were attacking me. Now, after a while, I decided it was best to get my guy married. Nyx deserves a wife. So I found the only king that didn't actively hate me. I think the relationship was still about -20. But I decided to marry his daughter because that was the only person that wasn't going to charge me about 1,000,000 coins, whatever they're called, to marry anybody in their family whatsoever. So once I got married, I decided to do the only logical thing as a thank you and declare war on him. So now I have a Sturgeon wife and am also at war with Sturgia, so she's probably not too happy with me. After trying to attack, I sent my men in. This wasn't very smart of me, but I sent my men in, and I got knocked pretty quickly, unfortunately. It was cool to see all my men lined up, though. This was one of the biggest armies I had had all game. But once I get knocked, I noticed something. The second one of my men started to die, they all just started fleeing. They all turned around and ran, when I have no idea why they were doing this. So it forced me to retreat, because my men were just dying. Like, they just left. They abandoned it. So for the time being, I kind of fled, which worked out in the end, but it wasn't great. Now this was quite interesting. After about only 10 hours on the run, I had executed so many people that the game started to glitch. It happened for several people, as you can see here. It would not allow me to take any more prisoners, which was beyond weird. Like, the execution run can't continue if I can't have them in my party. So you can see I got a little irritated. Now, since the run was pretty much over, I decided to declare war on every single clan, every kingdom, everybody, because I knew now that I couldn't take any prisoners that I was going to have to end the run one way or another. And in the end, it was indeed Vipon who caught me. I kind of rushed into an army. It was about 150 v 700, so I knew there was nothing I could do. And on the 11th day of winter, in 1090, I was executed, officially ending the run. As you can see here, my character made a very, very large amount of enemies. I think the list is actually so short because I killed the rest of them. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this and want me to continue making more, like and subscribe. Anyway, catch you next time.